KCOU Columbia 88.1 FM. What's up, everybody? This is Aaron Casillas. Joining me also is Miss Lisa Grella. She's in the studio.
This time, I'm building bridges inside your mind to find my way back to where it's silver line, the only place where I can stay.
Well, KCOU's been around for quite some time, since 1963, officially Halloween night. Some engineers got some crazy ideas, some of which involved wrapping copper wiring around an entire building.
Sometimes I'm a tree.
You know, there's been kind of a long-standing history of being a little ragtag and resourceful and, you know, somewhat rebellious, I guess.
The golden years of KCOU come and go in waves. And it depends a lot on the direction of the general manager and the program director at the time.
So 2 GMs ago. This particular GM came from a sports department background and had very little interest in any other section of the station doing anything of value or having much support.
It was kind of, you know, sports off in one department, music off in one department, and even inside of those, like, you had your show for 2 hours and that's all you cared about.
That was a pretty terrible time for KCOU, which you can kind of see unfolding as we get into 2008 and the whole debacle with moving our tower and losing funding and MSA sort of trying to shut us down and us having to fight to survive and prove that we were actually a competent radio station.
The power may be off soon at MU radio station KCOU. The station needs funding, and student leaders are worried they won't get it.
A move had to be made for the tower, which was at Hudson Hall and had been there for 30 some odd years. So it would have been impossible to maintain consistent broadcasting from our tower, which was on the roof of that building. The only thing that hadn't been secured, I say only like it's not a big deal, but was the money required for the project.
The current MSA president at the time, Jim Kelly, thought no one really cared about KCOU anymore.
And there was a lot of argument as to whether KCOU provided anything, which for a school that prides itself on being so journalism oriented and communications oriented was alarming.
The student government didn't want to pay. They didn't want to spend the $30-some thousand. The president of the student body was looking to effectively end the station. So then we shifted into gear into Plan B.
So there was a big fight to save the station. We had a huge campaign. We got local businesses involved. We got the local venues involved. We were all over campus.
It was almost kind of a fighter's mentality. Luckily, we had some guys in leadership, Jonathan Hutchinson, John Dobson, that weren't going to let this go without a fight.
If we do this behind closed doors, we have no leverage, we have no hope, because it will be easy to end us in the dark of night, like when no one's around and no one's paying attention.
You're not on top of mountains, somewhere there's something else to climb. Every day means starting over.
There was this huge outpouring of support, and we focused it and we directed it. We were like, you know what? Contact these people. You know, contact these administrators. Contact the chancellor.
And we had numerous owners. Sparky's was one. Their owner came and said, hey, I want to put on a fundraiser for you guys. We had a guy at Clunk's bicycle repair. He came out and was like, you know, I listen to you guys all the time. I really want to help out any way I can, just let me know. And so it was neat to see that support coming back from the years that we've been in the community.
In our efforts to save the station, we were largely introduced to a lot of students for the first time. And once they knew about us, they were like, of course we should have a student-run radio station. That sounds great.
We put enough pressure and made enough of a stand that we were able to secure funding and get our tower. But as a result, we were off air for almost 6 months.
So about January 31st of 09 until June or July of 09, KCOU was off the air. We were solely a online broadcast.
Like when people have KCOU set to their presets in their car and all of a sudden they're only ever getting static, like that's a good way to lose your listenership.
So it was not ideal, and it made things difficult because while we essentially got the money at the end of fall of 08 and had victory, it didn't feel like victory going into spring, us being off the air. You know, staff morale took a big hit. We definitely lost some staff during the course of that. But oddly enough, we gained some staff during that.
It's not an open door that stares me in my face. I saw something I knew before that I tried so hard to replace. A locked up smile we thought could change a world that was on a different page than you.
Recently, KCOU has been on an upswing. Our listenership has increased drastically. Our broadcast area has increased drastically. We have a bigger presence on campus.
I think we provide something that's different. I think that KCOU is, because we're independent and because we're run by students, we're something that no other station in the area has.
It's really important for that to be available to people, I think. I think it helps get more voices out there.
You know, there's music, there's variety, there's sports, there's news, there's weather, and so it's all in one, you know, is what KCOU provides.
And it really has this like indelible impact on people who spend any considerable amount of time with it.
KCOU, aside from just being a radio station where I can voice my opinions and share music with people, has also just been great in helping me kind of form a lot of bonds with people.
So it's been a very rewarding experience for me, and KCOU really helped me find a home early on in college.
That's what it means to me, is to keep that alive, to keep the independent content alive for the community, and then KCOU as a place of belonging for students at the University of Missouri.
And if you're doing it right and you really care about what you're putting out there, it's something that's going to be with you your whole life.
All you have is indecision, the truth is just intervention, breaking hearts without making a sound. Telling lies is all you're good for, maybe you feel misunderstood or lost, and never wanting to be found. Ooh, if I know, ooh, even if I'm known to be alone, the crown you keep and crucify, you call your name 3 times tonight, leave you with our hands dry eyes, so don't apologize. Every time you fold your hands, you end up somewhere you can't stand, wondering if all those birds have flown. If you wanna play God next.